Hi everybody, it's me, Bronwyn. I am here in an amazing recreation of a stone circle at the Irish Heritage Centre in Wexford, Ireland. Look it up, it's amazing. We're going to be staying here tonight, which I am so excited for. And you can find more information on that on their website, and we'll link to it in the description down below. When I last left you, we had gone to Lecru and seen the sunrise and met the Cailleach in her cairn, and then also visited Trim and surprised the yarn ladies at the yarn shop with the enthusiasm for knitting that had suddenly sprung up on our tour. And now, the next day, we head to Tara, the Hill of Tara, where we were getting a tour from John O'Sullivan, a local who lived in the area for a long time and had quite a lot to share with us. You can find him on Patreon. He writes amazing Dagda stories. He's a bard of the Dagda. The Patreon is Scaly Bag, and I will again link to that down below. But he started us off in the feasting hall. So at Tara, there are these huge mounds, a sort of like big mound, and then there's like a dip in the middle. And it expands like, I don't even know. It was very long, and that's where they believe a feasting hall used to be, where they had a roof over the top of the mounds, and they had fires down the middle, and people would sit along the base of the mounds themselves. And he talked to us about hospitality of ancient Ireland, and the hospitality that you could find at Tara, that anybody, be they enemies, friend or foe, poor, rich, could find hospitality at Tara, which is part of why their feasting hall was so large. And he's just an amazing speaker. If you can ever see John O'Sullivan in person telling a story or just being himself, please do. It's a delight. So we started at the feasting hall. He then took us to the Mound of Grania, which is just a little ways off from the feasting hall. We were sort of taking a different tour from the ones that are normal. We were seeing the sites that John really felt a connection to, and it was a really powerful experience. The Mound of Grania being sort of the women's place of the Hill of Tara, and there was a lot of really powerful energy there from her story, as well as just our own stories. There were a lot of women on this tour. We had 2 guys, and the rest of us were women. And it was really powerful to be in circle together in that space. We did a small little ceremony for our dear sister Jamie, who was taken from us this year. And so we felt it was a really good place to pay respect to her and bring her spirit to be safe, because you can be safe at the Mound of Grania with the women of Tara. From there, we moved on to see the sort of outer rim of Tara, the sort of the hill, I believe it was the Mucklands maybe, of where soldiers would have to climb up this huge hill in order to get at Tara, which they wouldn't, because it was near impossible to climb. And if they did, they then have to face the women of Tara, which would be a fight unto itself, because, of course, women were just as capable of fighting as the menfolk. After seeing that expanse, and when you're like in Tara, you can really see the full expanse of the Providence itself. Tara was one of the royal seats of ancient Ireland. It was one of the royal sites, so you can really see why, because you can see most of the province from the top of that hill. From there, we went down into the brambles and into the forest a wee bit, and John showed us where he has had some experiences with some fae folk that live down there. And I think most on our tour felt that energy. There were several little amazing like circles in the woods that just naturally occur. One was this giant, amazing hickory. No, it wasn't hickory. Oh, darn it, I can't remember. Chestnut something.
Horse chestnut.
Horse chestnut tree. It was huge. It was easily hundreds and hundreds of years old. And it was just a very calm, quiet space, sort of at the edge of civilization and the wild. We then went farther on. John was very good. He kept us all in line, even though many of us wanted to wander off into some of the corners and wander away into the darker trails and things. But he kept us there. We then went to one of the great halls of the Sidhe, which is again a naturally occurring circle in the forest itself. There was a swing. It was amazing. We could see the crows flying overhead through the trees. Everyone was just happy. It was just magical and delightful. After we took a visit to the other world, or the edge of the other world, as it were, we came back out into Tara, met up with another portion of our party, and went to the actual stone itself, to the Leafal, to the Stone of Destiny. And you can see some amazing pictures online. We'll link to Wolf Mercury Photography, who was there. Joe has taken some really amazing pictures of the Leafal, even though it was sort of overcast, even though it was kind of muddy around the stone. You can really feel the power and the royalty of that photo. And up at that stone, of course, is the story goes that the next rightful true king of Ireland, or queen, the with the royal blood, I believe, who touches the stone and all of Ireland will roar out. Sadly, there was no roaring, so clearly, even John is not yet king of Ireland, but, we'll see. After seeing all of the site itself, we headed out of Tara, ate some snacks at the lovely little restaurant there. I snuck down to the well. There's a well down the lane a little ways, the Well of the White Cow. I think it's actually dedicated to St. Patrick now, like everything is, but its older name was the Well of the White Cow, and it's thought to be one of the wells that feeds the River Boyne. So, fucking magic, right? After the Hill of Tara, we all got on the bus. We were all so tired. Tromping around Tara with John, Mr. Stompy, is very tiring. I don't think any of us realized quite how much walking we would be doing. My feet got soaked just from the dew in the grass, and we were all pretty exhausted. We're like, oh, do we have to go anywhere else? Oh, I don't know. Where are we going? We were going to the Hill of Slane. And once we got to the Hill of Slane, everybody forgot how tired they were and wanted to stay there forever. So the Hill of Slane has on it one of the, I believe it was a monastery ruins, as well as a little cemetery. It also has this giant tree, this Chilean pine tree that's growing there that shouldn't be growing there. It's a type of tree that realistically should not be surviving in the type of weather that Ireland has, but it is huge and has clearly been there for at least a couple hundred years. So that was impressive. The cemetery was stunning. Again, there's some great photography, and our little Cauldron crew took a very stunning photo in the ruins, climbing into some of the spaces, our album cover, as it were. And so that was a lot of fun. Everybody seemed to really enjoy being around the ruins and climbing about and getting a little bit of space and freedom. That's some of the sites that we've been at, not so much, because they're heritage sites and we should be respectful and things like that. And same here. We were respectful, but everybody was having a good time. Then it was back to the bus, and that was the end of a very long day. And there were very much another very long day ahead of us, because tomorrow, the next day, we were going to the Oinagat and Rothcrohan and the Mound of Maeve. So stay tuned and here's some more amazing tales. Thanks, guys.